trapping for myself and my family. There's no way that this is real, man, it can't be.
What is up, everybody, and welcome to Modify Your Life Podcast. This is your host, Anthony Lopez, also known as Heavy to Modified. We have the infamous Modified Frankie, a.k.a. Frankie from the block.
Yep.
A.k.a. she's only here for the money.
Period.
So
get the bag, sis.
A lot of you might not know is me and my girlfriend have been together for 10 plus years.
March is going to be 11 years.
And she has
11 years too long.
Okay, anyways. So I got nervous in here. It's a little hot. So what we wanted to do with this podcast is we are going to have multiple podcasts together. We have been together for almost 11 years. She was with me before the start of any of this weight loss when, I was a DJ at a house party.
Yep.
You remember when you met me? It wasn't a house party. It was at the hookah bar.
No, it was at a house party. I met you for like 2 minutes. I went with some of my friends that knew you from elementary school.
The first time you met me was 2 minutes and it never changed.
It was ratchet.
It was ratchet?
Yes. It was a backyard party and it was like battle of the DJs. And you were one of them.
It was love at first sight?
Lust for sure.
Damn, boy was thick.
I was always a chubby chaser.
Boy was thick.
I met you really quickly and I sat on one of your speakers and within like 2 minutes of that, the party got raided.
Damn.
And I didn't see you for months after that.
Those Buena Park parties, if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. Well, you know what I mean? So yeah, this was back about 2000 and what? 2000 and what were we doing?
We were babies. I
was like 21, 22.
Yeah, probably.
You were like a year older than me, so you're rocking the cradle for sure.
Kiss my ass, first of all.
Hey. We're trying to get sponsors for this podcast, so we cannot be cussing on here. No, I'm just kidding. No, we definitely
it's like
we talk what we want. We talk what we want to talk. But anyway, so when we could talk about.
Wait, can we talk about quickly how we like saw each other a few different times, like within a year, but we never really talked? Until you try to date me, and then you thought I swerved.
This is why you're literally trying to bring it up for this reason right here. Mm-hmm. Because you want to let them know that you turned me down.
I am the alpha, the omega.
You turned me down the first 2 times?
Once.
And then now what happened?
Well.
You're welcome. Hi. Future husband talking to you.
Period.
Anyway, so let him know. Tell him your side of the story.
Okay, so the first time was at that backyard party, and then I saw you for one of your birthday parties at a hookah lounge. He's so fucking extra. He had red carpet.
I did. It was album release party. I had a red streak on my hair,
too. I was judging for sure, but I didn't have to get in line. He just let me in.
Your boy was trying to get it in. He was like, you see that little thick. I was like, what's up, baby?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we left early, so we didn't really talk to you that much. And then I saw you again for your New Year's party. And then one of my best friends had I was wearing a V-neck shirt, and he pulled my shirt down and he saw my bra, and he immediately grabbed my phone.
Gave her my number.
He put his contact in my phone under hubby, but then immediately judged the phone I had. He's like, "Ew, you have a BlackBerry? Tomorrow I'm gonna take you to buy an iPhone."
Damn. I seen the goods. I like the goods. Now look at 11 years later, we're on a podcast together.
Then that's when we actually started texting back and forth. But you and I live pretty far from each other. And we were just texting here and there. But I didn't think it was anything, but I guess you did.
Damn, okay, go ahead. This is for the girls in the streets, baby. Let's go. Go ahead. Go.
City girls, what's up?
City girls are winning right now. Okay.
And then, we just kind of fizzled out. And then a year later is when, again, for a New Year's party, that's when we just...
New Year's beginning the air. New Year's hit the sky.
But he did tell my friend at the time that she was going to be his New Year's kiss.
Damn. I didn't start the podcast.
I swooped in, though.
I didn't start the podcast for this. I didn't. And you know what? So you're starting to get a decent following from what you had before, right? Starting to get a decent following. I think it's pretty safe to say. But she's built a community of women who do not they like me, they support me and they talk positive about me. But they also when she posts up something, she's like, "Oh no, sis, don't put up with that."
Toxic
from him.
queens for sure.
Toxic, right?
Yep.
So how does that feel to be an influencer?
You could never match up to me, low-key.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I do my
My
best.
little 2,000 followers will shit on your 1.7 million.
You know what?
My engagement is sick.
Thank you for having me on the show.
Thank you.
But anyways, I'm glad you got to share the story of how you you turned me down.
But
that
can
didn't
you
work out
tell
for you.
them why you pursued me again and what you told your mom?
I was pissed. You turned me down. Like, how
And
was
why? Why were you offended?
How are you going to not respond back to me?
No. Why were you offended?
Because I never dated chubby girls. I was so shallow when I was
and
overweight.
he told his mom that how dare a chubby girl.
I was pissed. I mean, like, I had the right to be tell a girl this.
So why did you pursue me again?
I was just trying to talk.
For what?
Do the thing and then dip. And apparently 11 years later, that did not work out perfectly fine.
No, you told me that your intention was to get me to fall in love with you and then you to swerve on me.
I just said that.
Yeah,
just
but
without saying get into like that like all lovey-dovey stuff. No. Well,
but how's that work out?
I failed at that.
Yeah.
I found an amazing woman. So, You're welcome. Thanks for having me on your podcast.
You're welcome.
Modified Frankie. Anyway, so that's how we met. It's a very interesting story. There's more to that story, but we'll keep.
But we were both hoes back in the day.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, we had to give each other. I mean, the good thing is we always had really good communication, though. The first 2 weeks, we agreed, hey, like, we got some loose ends to wrap up, so let's not go through each other's phone.
Damn.
For like a week or two. I had to change my number, low key.
I changed my number too.
Yeah, and then once, remember when I spent the night at your house, and then like one of your exes was calling you, and one of my exes was calling me at the same time.
Damn.
And like our phones were just lighting up, and we're like, oh shit.
Damn. She was just, okay, so this is a podcast doing completely different where I wanted it to go. She's letting everything out. But you know what? This is 100% true stories how we met. I think this is going to be a very big part. Or I know this is a very big part because this is what led up to everything that I feel that, we have became as a couple. But, also what we became, as in just normal human beings, as, Francine is as Anthony. So I want to kind of get into that real quick, There's so much parts of our relationship that we could talk about, but I want to talk more into this. We got to spread the tea. A little toxic for girls are gonna love that part. But I want to get into the mindset. You know what I mean? Because you said it. You say yourself you've always been a chubby chaser. So what was it about it? Is you always like chubby boys? Like, or did you grow up overweight?
Yes.
Were you always like the biggest girl in class, or were you just like a normal size?
I was chubby, but I was never like the biggest girl in class or the biggest girl anywhere. But
definitely the biggest boobs, though.
Thankfully, yes.
For sure.
But I did use that to my advantage.
I bet.
I would dress like a hoe in high school.
Yeah?
Yeah.
The big cha-chas?
Mm-hmm. But then I'd wear like
wait.
But I would wrap a sweater around my waist because I had no ass.
She still doesn't, but you know what? She's worked really hard and she'll be getting the BBL soon, so we're all excited
Sponsored by Heavy to Modified.
Damn. Sponsored by this podcast. Anyway, so tell me about it. So you were never overweight until when? When did you start?
Well, in high school, my highest was 180. Then I went down to 160 because I was heartbroken over a dude.
Ooh, was it me?
No. He was ratchet too, though.
I don't want to hear about that. Keep going.
So I got down to 160. So I was not skinny, but I wasn't like fat. But I was very, very, very insecure.
You were insecure?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about that. Why were you insecure?
Because I didn't look like the girls that I wanted to look like.
What do those girls look like?
J-Lo.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's right. J-Lo, if you're watching, if you ever listen to my podcast, J-Lo, I will leave this woman for you in a heartbeat. I'm saying right now, I will be your 70th husband.
And I was even insecure though, because like my mom was like shaped really cute, right? She didn't have much up top, but she had like the whole Coke bottle thing going on. Mm-hmm. And like I would see that at home, and then I'd see that at school, and everything I would see on TV, and I looked completely different.
You got the top heavy body. Yeah, you got your dad's body. Mm-hmm. Right? So I must have... So I have a question. Like, I don't think I've ever even asked you this. So did girls make fun of you for not having a butt? Because I feel like having a big butt was like cool over the last like 5 to 10 years, like where it became like, if you don't have a big butt, like, ew, what the heck? Like, I don't feel like when I was in like junior high and high school, like I feel like it was more of a boob thing than a butt thing, but I'm not 100% sure because I'm not a female. So I would be curious to know, like, how was like the junior high and high school talk? Did anyone other than Did anyone ever make fun, like call you out for not having a butt?
Probably like 2-3 times throughout my whole high school experience, but it was because I was probably arguing with the girl and like that was the cheap shot.
Oh, okay. So
but
that
it
was
wasn't like I was bullied for.
not okay.
Yeah.
I guess I was curious to know because I feel like not having a big butt just became having a big butt became very, very popular over the last like 5 maybe less than 10 years. And I'm not even sure when it is, but I'm not a female. I know obviously me growing up being overweight, it was never cool to be overweight or fat unless like, we're back in like the 1300s or whatever it is, like the castle days, right? Where the more money you had, the bigger your belly was, the more girls wanted you. I missed that era. Honestly, I would have freaking killed it, right?
Killed the game.
I would have killed the game. I would have had like 70 wives just sitting there feeding me grapes and just like, you know what I mean? For the people watching on video, they got to laugh. If you're watching just on the podcast, I'm sorry. You just missed it. I wrote the nipples and everything. So, all right, cool. So you felt very insecure. And like, what did that lead into going into like, the high school, like your early adult age into like, your 18, 20? Like what did that lead into, like that insecurity? Did it get worse? Did it get better?
Honestly, I never let my insecurity bleed. So no one knew I was insecure. And I was never one to be bullied because I was never the one or the two.
Yeah, you are mean.
Yeah.
People always like kind of like ask like how we're together because like you
don't
just
match.
generally don't like people. Like not that you don't like people. I don't want to give you this wrong response. Like next time you're on a podcast and think you don't like people, but like you are like really tight with your circle and your family. Like, and if they're not in the circle, I feel that like you make them earn that respect. Like
I can't waste my energy or time on people that I don't know are worth it. So you're going to have to show your worth before I can invest any of my energy into you.
And with me, I just love everyone. And I feel like I just always give everyone the benefit of the doubt. But like, if it wasn't for Frankie, I'd probably be screwed over a lot over the last couple of years, especially with the following that came along with everything. So that's actually how we match, I feel, is that I'm 100% nice or 100% asshole. And she's just more of like.
And you're very social.
Yeah, I'm very social. I like people. And I think you're more of just like, you're going to protect what's yours.
Yeah.
And you're going to protect your time now. Because before, I kind of want to, actually I'm going to say that for another podcast because that's actually a really good topic that we're going to save. But I want to get more into the insecurities. So, like, what do you think what do you think was the negative side of having so many insecurities?
That you hold yourself back from a lot of opportunities.
I was hoping you said that.
Yeah.
I was hoping you said that, right? Because when we actually started dating, it took a lot of years for me to kind of talk to you and tell you that you're capable to do what the fuck you want to do. And I feel like, that had a lot to do with maybe your upbringing, but then how you looked at yourself, right? Because, you grew up in a Hispanic household and you were taught that you go against this so much, but what, you know what I mean? Let them know. I
was taught that as a woman, my job, and this came from both like mom's side, dad's side, that as a woman, my job was just to learn everything that I needed to learn just to maintain a household and keep my husband happy. Like the goal was just to get married and have kids.
Damn.
So even like,
so you felt like
school was never for me, but I did have a point in time where I wanted to go to college and I was like trying to fill out the FAFSA paperwork for like, to help pay for school. And I had asked one of my parents, hey, can I get your information so I can put this in? And I was told, no, school is not for you.
Damn.
And I said, bet.
And so many people, and I'm speaking only for what I know and how I was raised from my background, your background, being Hispanic, I'm Black and Mexican, you're Mexican. I feel like it's normal for so many women, right?
Yeah.
So now moving, like that's such a topic that we could go on for days, right? But let's talk about the last, like, because, at the end of the day, this podcast is called Modify Your Life, right? And I feel that you've done a lot of modifying your life from, like, your upbringing to how your parents had raised you. And they're great people, let me just say that, right? They're great people, but
they were just a product of their environment.
Exactly. And, you went against that.
I was a problem child for sure on both ends.
Yeah, but it was just crazy because, when we first met, and there's something with her, I'm going to be 100%, transparent with this. I didn't date chubby girls. I think I didn't date chubby girls because it was an insecurity of my own. You know what I mean? Because I was overweight. I didn't want to be with someone that was overweight because I want people to like, oh, that guy's big, but he got a good ass girlfriend or whatever it might be. And please don't any type of judgment.
Your girls were actually pretty cute. I would peep them.
I did have some good looking girls.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I have a good one too, right here. Look at this one. She's pretty bad. She's baddie. She's a baddie. Look at her. Look at her eyes. She looks like Middle Eastern.
Oh shit.
But yeah. So that was my. That's what I have her saved under my phone.
Same.
But that was like my insecurity. is that I wanted to date a skinnier girl because
Like just an aesthetically
aesthetically looking person, because I felt, you know, they then once again, like talking about the last podcast, right, with my Camaro, I felt like that was going to hide my overweight, being overweight, because I had something that was better looking, right? So I guess, you know, just talking about Band-Aids. So like, what are a couple things that you had to modify because of those insecurities you think you felt?
I would hold myself back from a lot of work opportunities.
Yeah.
Because one was because I felt like I was too big, so I was going to be overlooked, which did happen a lot, especially in the financial industry.
Facts.
But also, like, I would never, like, bet on myself.
That's very true. That's very true. I know that because...
Like, I was the hardest working person anywhere I worked or in anything I did, but I was also downplaying myself a lot.
Yeah. So there's no self-confidence, right? You felt it because, you know, once again, it goes back to the upbringing, which led into, you know, I think the first couple of years of a relationship where, I mean, I was overweight, right? But I was a go-getter, I think it's safe to say, right?
From the beginning. Well, actually, we started dating, even making money together.
Yeah, well, you scammed me a little bit.
For sure.
I did give you money to buy alcohol,
I don't
to
take it
serve
back.
alcohol, and then you also charge people. So I gave you money to buy the alcohol, and then you also
and I
charged
charged Caesar.
people.
Yep.
You charged my best friend Caesar,
Yep.
which I'm still
I
actually
stand by that.
Let me just talk about this. My boy is, that's been my boy since, like, you know, elementary school. That's my boy. Obviously, as having a best friend, he's supposed to hate my girlfriend and she's supposed to hate him, right? And the whole thing is, like, you know, crazy thing about this is, like, you know, I'm still actually mad that she charged him. And she's
I'll do it
told her
again.
she better, like, pay him back one day. Like, I don't care if it was $12. Like, you pay. That's my best friend. The guy pushed me in a wheelchair. So, anyways, I'm just thinking about that. I'm actually pretty mad.
Shout out to
right now.
Caesar, though. I still hate you.
Yeah, we did start our relationship off making money. I mean, you did scam me a little bit. You know what I mean? But hey, I'll take it. That's a go-getter. But, you know, I think moving forward a couple years into our relationship, you've always supported me, right? And at the end of the day, I think you're going to love to hear this on the podcast, is I remember sitting on a toilet, taking a dump, right? Didn't even get no
Morning
free time.
dump.
She opens up the door. She's like, you need to start YouTube. I had a Camaro at the time. And, you know, I was like, no, insecurities, right? Because I was overweight.
I was like, hear me out.
And she broke down, like, you need to do YouTube. You have the personality. People like you, X, Y, and Z. And I tried it. And we actually last night, me, you, and Dove, we were watching old YouTube videos. And, like, it's so crazy that my life has been documented for the last almost 6 or 7 years. Technically, it's been documented since 2009 because there's actually YouTube videos of when I was a DJ.
Yep.
So that's a pretty cool too.
You guys should look those up.
Content. Let's not. Anyways, let's not give them that yet. Hold on.
Okay.
But, you know, and then moving into our relationship and what it's became over the last 5 years, you know, you had to modify a lot of the way you're thinking. You know, I kind of want you to talk about how you were more of a 9-to-5 worker compared to now.
Another thing that would make me very insecure was that I didn't get my high school diploma. And again, working wasn't like a thing in our household as women, but I always was anti. Like, you're not going to tell me what to do. Even though I would still hold myself back from better opportunities, but like I would apply to like warehouse jobs instead of trying to do even retail or like a Costco or whatever. I would try to just, warehouse, because that's the best I'm going to do.
Like behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah, like warehouse work. I would work at a lot of different ones because I thought that was it for me. Maybe I could make it as a supervisor one day. That's what I would think. And I would work 12, 16-hour days there. Super easy work, but it would like kill my body. And I would work inside of those. They were refrigerated, so I was in like 30-degree temperatures at all times.
Okay, so do you feel that was like a low confidence job? Like, do you feel like you got those jobs because of your confidence level was very low? Because you still in your head were thinking at this time, right? Because now we're talking this old Frankie. This is like 10 years ago, Frankie.
Because I felt like I wasn't smart enough to do anything else.
Because you were supposed to just be in the kitchen or holding a baby.
And I wasn't educated.
You felt you weren't educated.
Yeah.
When they find out what you do now, they're probably going to be like, holy shit. Like, honestly, like, but it's... So... getting in more into kind of taking over, because I see Frankie starting to get a little, little teary-eyed. She'll cry over everything, honestly.
Everything.
She's dramatic. I love it, though. But sometimes, remember I told you, I was like, hey, I know you're crying, but I can't take you serious because you cry for everything. But, I want to talk, like, just coming from my upbringing to her upbringing is completely different. It's super crazy. And we go say that for another show, right? Because I like where this is going. The low confident job, I think, is something amazing to talking about. But to where she is right now, and for what I've seen her evolve into over the last 10, 11 years, is just absolutely amazing. Because for me, I feel like I'm expected to do this. I feel like I have no choice but to be successful in whatever I do, because that's how I was raised. I was raised to do whatever I want to do because I'm worth it. Was given confidence. I was given love, TLC, money, whatever it is, right? We weren't rich, but, I didn't go without anything. And her story, which she'll get into, I would love for her to get into more as we continue this podcast. It's her first time being in front of camera, being on a podcast, is that but me just kind of jumping fast forward a little bit, is that from knowing her background and where she came up with and how she was raised and what she was told she couldn't do and she could do and couldn't do, to see how far she's come as a woman is just freaking, it's crazy. It's a crazy thing. Her and her brother were, they're very, very close. Remember when we first started dating, you're like, hey, if my brother doesn't like you, then you can,
non-negotiable.
You can't date me. So one day she broke up with me. She tried to break up with him.
I did. It just didn't work out.
Whatever she did. She ended up making me dinner that night. So whatever.
You actually
you did, because you broke up. You got mad at me for Carla, which you guys will see me Carla. So I actually have like a taboo friendship. I have a girl best friend, and we've never done anything. And you guys are actually becoming really close friends. I think that's amazing. So she had found out that I went to start. Found out when I told her, but hey, we'll get into whatever.
Found out before.
No, you didn't. I told you.
But a girl had told me that she's seen you at Starbucks.
I told you, and then you
wait, so you're only telling me because you saw Homegirl?
Yeah, no, but I was just generally just brought it up. But anyways, I have a girl best friend. You'll meet her, and we'll probably all have a podcast together.
We
I
need
think it'll be pretty awesome. We have 4 microphones. But shoot, I lost my train of thought and what I was going at. Honestly,
that we broke up.
Well, she broke up with me, right? And so because of this, she had told me if her brother doesn't like me, then she can date me. Well, first off, I'm like, who doesn't like me, right? Let's be honest. Like, I have a nice smile and everything. I'm a nice guy. So I ended up meeting her brother. I remember the first time I met him, like actually at the house. Remember when he opened up the door in his underwear and cowboy boots and a cowboy hat?
Yep.
And he didn't have boxers on. My boy had the dun-dun-duns.
Yeah. And also the belt.
And that's when I knew, like, it was love at first sight. I love that kid. Like, I love that guy. And so we ended up getting along. So she ended up breaking up with me for, like, whatever. She thought she broke up with me.
It was like 2 hours. I thought you left, but you were.
we went to E6 City, and we hung out. Me and him were chilling. He's like, yeah, my sister trips sometimes. So I was like, yeah, probably. And then we came back when you made us dinner. And, like, so apparently, like, technically, if you look at it, for the last 10 years,
we've been hanging
out because you never asked me back out.
Damn.
So ladies, if you're out there, and you have 1.6 million followers,
hit him up.
I'm single. No, I'm just kidding.
He comes with a lot of baggage, though, and you got to take it all.
No, that's not baggage. That's skin.
No.
It's not baggage. It's skin. That's a low blow. Okay. But anyways, getting into it, we'll get into the weight loss and the weight loss surgery and all that. We have multiple podcasts to talk about. But let's talk about the Francine, like the 10-year ago Francine and those jobs that we're doing, beginning of a relationship. So how, like, the low confident job, like, I'm pretty sure that you wouldn't change anything, right? Because look where we're at now and how far we're coming. They don't even know what we had to do. But let's talk about, like, before then. Like, would you have changed anything having the confidence you have now going back to 10, 15 years ago, Francine? Like, would you change stuff?
No.
But, like, not like, I want to ask this not to the point of, like, where you think, like, I don't want your answer to be like, well, no, because then I would have met you. Like, we were still gonna meet no matter what, right? Like, you're my soulmate. You're my spirit animal. But I'm talking about, like, knowing what you know now, and going back to the high school Frankie and to the first job you've had and to what you probably put up with having low confidence and low self-esteem. Like, would you change any of that? Like, the Frankie now wants to talk is going.
I still want to say no because even I learned a lot of valuable lessons working at those low-paying jobs, like the warehouse especially.
Yeah, there's some hard workers there.
And it was mostly because I would get fucked over. And
why is that? As a woman in a warehouse job, I know what you're gonna say. I want you to share this so you will be relatable by talking about this. Why did you get screwed over so much at these warehouse jobs? Because you didn't what?
I didn't put out.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I was mad when you brought that up to me because I don't.
Yeah.
I'm a male, and I don't. I'm pretty sure there's jobs where females expect guys to do that. I don't know. I haven't worked a lot of real jobs.
Yeah.
I mean, I own businesses. I don't work. You know what I mean? I just as in like the conventional 9 to 5. I haven't
Nothing
done a lot
wrong
of
with that. It just wasn't our thing.
Yeah. So that's gotta really mess with your like self-esteem and okay. Actually, take it back. Let me bring myself back a little bit. Does that actually mess with your self-esteem because you're expected to put out, or does that boost up your self-esteem because you're not like every other girl that puts out? That's a whole. Wait, hold on. Ooh, that's a mind.
For me, it would make me feel bad.
Really?
Because I felt like these are the things that I need to do to advance, and I wasn't willing to do them. I'm happy I didn't, but in that moment, I wasn't.
At that time, you felt like you were the odd one out.
Yeah.
And now, fast forward, you know what I mean? I get to be with a girl that's only been with. Hopefully, I'm not saying too much, but it's only slept with 2 guys. I'm your third one. Like that's fucking badass.
I wish it would have been more though, low key.
Damn, I just gave her a compliment.
No, because that number. Because have you seen on social media where people say like, if a guy says 15, it's probably only 5. If a girl says 3, it's probably 23. Like I wish it would have been like 30.
Hopefully not. Hopefully there's not 30 guys out there watching this podcast like, dang, sucker. Looking like, oh, I had it first. And
actually,
she was mine. She called me daddy.
Damn.
No, I'm glad. I believe you that there's only 2 because I know you're very you have a lot of respect for yourself.
I have high standards for myself.
That's good. No, that's really good. So, anyways, back into it. So you did the right thing at those jobs, with low confidence in it. And the things that you were doing right were actually making your confidence even lower and your self-esteem even lower, right? Because the guys were expecting you to put out to get a $2 raise, or probably like less than that, honestly. But you know what I mean? That's nuts, man. And so,
getting the better shifts.
Yeah, because you
like I would have to work all weekends, and I would get like a Tuesday off or like a Thursday off, never together. Remember, like you would get annoyed because you're like, why is your schedule like that?
Yeah, I was really. It's so interesting to sit down with someone who is similar to age with me and kind of like see the difference of like how it is different for a woman to a man, in that aspect of like expected to do something for something that should be done already if you're already working. And then
also having to work, like clock out after your 8 hours and you're still expected to work.
That's crazy. And I'm glad that you stood up for yourself and you didn't do that. Even though at the time you're doing was so right, it sucks to know that you were actually that it was wrong. But now, like the Frankie now knows that the moves you made were correct.
Yeah. But again, like going back to like all the like shitty situations that I was put in, like at those kind of jobs, like made me learn to stick up for myself.
Which you do. Which she does. She doesn't put up with nothing from
No.
She told me it was like 2 weeks ago. She's like, I don't know if it's because you think you're making money or because you got followers or because you got muscles, but I ain't here for none of that. You're going to talk to me with respect or I will be gone.
Period.
And I started laughing and she was genuinely mad, but I found it so funny because she went off.
And you still got me Starbucks.
I did get her Starbucks. I know what the right things to do. Is this thing keep on coming back? I feel like stay. So I want to like reiterate for maybe the people that were busy listening to this. I know when I'm listening to podcasts, whether it be
doing something else
Audible,
like cleaning.
Cleaning,
Same.
making my meal prep, you know what I mean?
Making
just
your
like,
meal prep.
Whatever it might be, right? So growing up, and we'll say from the culture, right? Because this is not the first time I think we've heard anyone Hispanic growing up with like being told, like maybe it's changing now.
I don't hold it against my parents.
No, I don't think at all. I think it's just we're just say culture, right? Because now I think when we become parents, I don't think we're gonna be like that at all.
No,
you know what I mean? I'm gonna tell my kid, bro, he could be 2 years old.
I'm creating a monster.
Yeah, like I want my kid to own a business by 7. He's gonna be selling lemonade at 3 years old.
Just like Arlo,
right? Yeah, exactly. Our godson, he has his own. We don't have a kid. We have a godson, and we actually made a business with his logo. Him as a logo, so
and he knows he owns it.
He knows he owns a business, And so I see if we're like that as godparents, imagine I don't feel him be any different with my son because you already know I am with the levels of love, right? But anyways, this is another podcast, so let's get into this. So to reiterate for the people that maybe got a little busy, we'll talk about the culture, how you're raised is expected to be a woman to take care of your man, right? Okay, and then so that brought in like
There's old school mentality overall.
exactly,
Yeah.
and that would brought your confidence down to whatever this is what I'm supposed to do for the rest of my life. But then you started to fight it. Then that low confidence, low self-esteem bled in through junior high and high school of you not having a butt
And bad relationships.
and then going into your workplace. Right. So like how like okay, you worked your jobs in the back warehouse because
and then it got worse.
It got worse?
Yeah.
So so that low self-esteem confidence just kept stacking up on top of you like a whole
bunch
bunch of bricks,
so
right?
before I would work warehouse where I want to be behind and not in the front.
Okay.
And then from then I'm like, this is too much for me.
There you go. We got it right. We got it good now.
And
it's
I
only our
went
second
down
podcast,
to,
everyone. So sorry.
I don't want to be seen by anyone. So I did phone customer service for a few years at different places.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is so crazy to just think of like.
And I hate communicating. And
do you really hate communicating, or I
hate explaining myself, and I hate repeating myself even more. That's my biggest pet peeve.
Just kind of just listening through your upbringing is what you explained so far to everyone is I feel like, do you really not like people, or did your low confidence and low self-esteem just make you feel like you don't like people? Like realistically, if you look, because right now, like you talk to a lot of people, you run a whole back end of heavy to modify.
I love them.
Right? So it's like, did you like really think about it? Like self-reflect right now, like take a break and like take a second, take a breath, and really think like, did you at that time not like people, or did you build yourself to not like people because you were insecure how you looked?
Damn.
I'm gonna hit you. This podcast stuff is good. I like this.
I think I would hold people at arm's length because I didn't want anyone to get too close, because I didn't want to give anyone enough power to hurt me.
Facts. I like that, which I did the same. I never let anyone know that being overweight was an insecurity, right? Because, like, fuck them. They're going to start using it against me, right? I was like, bad enough I was getting my titties slapped in junior high and elementary school, right? So that's actually pretty, you're going to relate with a lot of women that are going to be watching this right now, because what you just told me is, like, a life that I didn't live at all. And I'm not talking about, like, the female aspect of it, right? I'm talking about, like,
just the experiences.
The experiences and the low self-esteem, like, at the end of the day, did I have low self-esteem, and did I have, internally, yes, but like I did never let it show, and like you kind of let it show, and to the point where you like even pick jobs to like not want to be seen by people, because I'm assuming as this time, we've been talking about this progressing. I'm assuming that our weight was also, because when I met you were like what?
I was about like 185, 190.
When I met you?
Yeah, I was this weight, but I just wasn't shaped like this.
Oh yeah, yeah, I know. Yeah, I didn't. You were.
Yeah, but then especially right now 193.
Okay, that makes sense. I'm tripping. I was thinking like, okay, I don't know. Yeah, okay.
But I'm shaped different because of the loose skin now, so I'm not gonna look the 185, 190 that I was before. I was a spring chicken.
No, you're a cradle rocker. Honestly, I was like 21. You're like 26 or something. I don't know what you were.
Shut up.
Remember when I told your mom that I was
15?
I told your mom I was 15. And the first time I met her. The official time. The first official time I met your mom. Yeah,
she didn't like you.
She thought I was a drug dealer.
Yeah.
And now
he pulled up in an F-250.
That truck
lifted,
I was talking about. 6 TVs.
Hella TVs. Loud as hell.
Booming.
To the park where my mom and all my siblings were at.
Looking like Big Worm, baby. Pulling up like Big Worm. Like, what's up, moms?
Low key.
I love it. That was awesome.
And she's like, he's a drug dealer, right? She's like, what did I tell you about dating those guys? I'm like, moms. Did
she mean because I was colored or because?
No, she just thought that
I don't know if that would make it in, honestly. I can't get in trouble for saying something like that.
She just thought you were one of the other type of dudes that would date.
She loves me now, though, so it was awesome. But
one thing, though, I never dated a broke dude. I don't care if my confidence was low. Never.
Guys?
I never spent a dime on any guy except this guy from the very beginning.
All right, so my guys out there listening, that was a really big red flag. All right, so if you didn't catch that, rewind that. That was a red flag. She said that with confidence. Like, I didn't date no broke guy. I don't got no booty, but I ain't sacrificing myself for no broke guy.
Period.
But anyways, that was funny. This is good. We should have did this a long time ago, honestly. This podcast thing, we should have. All right, so no confidence, no booty, no broke guys.
None.
Right? And then you to the point where you didn't want to work in a job where you have to talk to other people.
Yeah.
So, like, obviously we're gonna go into another podcast, and I'm pretty sure people are gonna want to hear more about this story, and because we still
They're
got
gonna
5
want more of me and less of you. Low key?
You're better looking than me for sure.
Nah, you're hot.
All right, so like going from, and I once again I don't want you to share too much about everything we've had to go through and to build that confidence, right? Because we spent 11. I'll say we spent 9 years of our relationship helping build your confidence.
The
right?
whole time.
The whole time. So what I wanted
You
to
still
get
help me
into,
now.
That's amazing to hear that.
Because I get imposter syndrome.
Oh shit! Well, we got a whole conversation about
Daily.
imposter syndrome. Oh my god.
Yeah.
So, the Francine you are today, right? The modified Frankie, the Frankie from the block, the PCOS queen, right?
Yep.
The gluten-free dairy queen boss, the boss of bosses, right?
Yeah.
The alpha omega. Going off of
The
what
table.
the table, right?
Yeah.
The table. Is that because your booty's flat? Yes. Okay. And this is our relationship. We talk smack, guys. Going off of the Frankie who you are today and thinking about the Frankie you were before, like for all the girls out there that are being raised this way or going through similar situations, feel that they're only worth so much right now because of what if other people have told them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what would you? Let's end with this. Let's end on this this note. What would you tell these girls that are in a similar upbringing to you and feel that their self-worth is stuck here because of what other people have told them?
I would say, fuck.
You got it. Just go ahead.
One sec. Okay. I would say, girl, I love you. Hold on, I'm a thug.
we need to play some Carly B for it.
Right.
Carly B.
I would say,
You almost got me to tear
yeah.
up. It's very difficult to get me to cry. Psych. Oh, Dove is in the background crying right now. Dove is crying. Go ahead.
it's
go
because
ahead.
I won't
You're
look
not
at
done.
you. No, I would say, why do I cry for everything?
It's an answer a man cannot tell.
Right?
We want to know too.
I would say I know it's lonely. And really scary to really go against the grain and go against like the traditional values that like are kind of like dumped on you. But I think it's really important to just bet on yourself and go for everything that makes you happy. Hold yourself to a really high standard for sure. Surround yourself around people that are going to bring you up. People that don't have a smaller mind than you. And that are going to celebrate you trying to push yourself to do something better and bigger. Because that was like the biggest thing.
Damn.
And I have to thank you for that. Because you were that for me.
Okay.
We're
Fuck.
done.
All right. Wow. Okay. So I actually, for a lot of you don't know, I cry on everything. Especially when the grandpa comes up. But I don't think it gets any
don't bring
realer
up
than
grandpa
that.
because I'll lose my shit.
I don't think it gets any realer than that. I can't even speak on it. You know what I mean? It's something that I can't even speak on it. With that being said, hopefully this podcast brought value today, and hopefully for that woman out there that is listening, and is going through
Also,
similar
don't wait
situation.
to start living, for sure. Don't wait till you lose X amount of pounds before you dye your hair this color that you want to do, or before you go on this trip that you want to go to, because you're just going to hold yourself back from living.
Damn, and she's still going. I love this. No, it's, I'm just getting at that. I have nothing to top like that, just the purest of purest. Welcome to Modify Your Life podcast. Today you got to listen to myself, Anthony Lopez, and Francine.
And I still didn't lose my street credit for crying.
You're a thug. No, I cried on the Steve Harvey show. And
that was Steve Harvey.
Yeah, I cried on multiple things. I cried on Steve Harvey's show. I cried on Dub podcast. Cried on Alec Frisella's podcast. You know what I mean? But when you genuinely care about something and you're talking to the old self and you're self-reflecting, it is the hardest thing to do. And everyone just witnessed that. Whether we had one person that listened to this or we have 1 million people that listen to this, you just brought value to that person or those people. So we're ended with this. Welcome to Modify Your Life podcast, and bet on yourself.
Always.
All this happened for myself and my family. There's no way that this is real, man, it can't be.